capacitors or condensers. They are used in radio, television set and computers. We are having a diagram of here radio set, in which second diagram, this is air capacitor is used to match the frequency of a particular radio station. In a radio set there are many stations, say BBC London, All India Radio, Moscow, Voice of America, and a lot of stations are there. By changing the tuning knob of radio set, the capacity of the capacitor in the diagram 2 is changing. It is also shown in figure 3, in which on rotating the knob, the fixed plate and rotating plate, there are two sets, they overlap each other. Area of overlapping increasing when the plates are getting inside it, and capacity is also increasing. Due to increase in capacity, there is change in frequency of antenna. We are observing an antenna in the radio figure 1, as a result of which particular radio station is audible due to electrical resonance. Now let us discuss what is electrical resonance in brief. Actually, there is a capacitor inductor circuit inside the radio receiver set, and it is producing a frequency that is going to the antenna of radio. When this frequency matches with the electromagnetic frequency coming from All India Radio, Voice of America, BBC London, or any other station, then that electromagnetic wave transfer its energy to the circuit of radio, and that station is audible to us. This phenomena is electrical resonance. Now in the figure 4, there is diagram in the vertical view of capacitor showing the overlapping of capacitor plates. In the bottom diagram, again there is air capacitor inside a radio set. If you are opening the radio set, then we will observe figure like it. Next figure is showing here the knob and the capacitor, that is mechanism to rotate it. And the last figure is showing here cylindrical capacitor in the vertical positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 resistors are there, and they are storing energy, working as a filter also, and doing the change in frequency also, that is depending upon the circuit joined for them. A capacitor changes the frequency of a circuit in radio and television. A capacitor works like a resistance in alternating series circuit. There are two types of current. One is alternating current, another is direct current. Alternating current is supplied in our houses, in our schools, in our city, in which we are using transformer. We have seen many transformers in our streets, in our city, and transformer only can work in alternating current circuit. It cannot work. Transformer cannot work in a direct current circuit. Direct current we are using in electrical device like cells, using in watch. Cells are 1.5 volt NiPo battery. We are using in torch. They are giving direct current. That is different from alternating current. Now let us come to the circuit. Here C is a parallel plate capacitor. Symbol for parallel plate capacitor is given here, in series with a bulb, and it is giving a resistance. When alternating current supply is connected to it. Therefore, less voltage is applied across bulb and life of the bulb increases. Safety also, this is just like reducing the load on the bulb. A capacitor is an electrical device that stores charge and electrical energy inside it. There is a capacitor shown here, 2.5 MFD microfarad. 2.5 microfarad. The function of this capacitor is to store electrical energy, to store charge, and then supply to the electric fan. There are 3 wires coming from electrical fan. Red color is going directly to the connection, and remaining 2 are joined with the capacitor. This one joint of the capacitor is connected to another wire coming from the main supply. In this way, connection is completed. It is found sometimes that fan is rotating in opposite direction, anti-clockwise say. But on changing the connection, interchanging the wires only for capacitor, fan rotates in clockwise direction. We can see practically. And this capacitor is giving extra energy to start the fan. Initially, fan is at rest, and state of rest is requiring more energy not supplied from the electrical circuit to rotate. Therefore, in this position, the capacitor stores first its energy and then supply to the electrical circuit inside the fan. That is, double dose is supplied to the fan, and more power is supplied, more force is generated inside the fan, more torque is generated inside the fan, and fan starts rotating for the rest to the motion. In this way, starting of fan require a capacitor. If capacitor is not there, then it is difficult to start a fan, although we are switching on the circuit. Therefore, capacitor is working like a energy store device or charge store device. Use of a capacitor in electric ceiling fan. Again, we are observing the same similar type of circuit we discussed. In the first diagram, we have discussed this circuit earlier. Second diagram, 2.5 MFD ceiling fan capacitor. Sometimes capacitor is known as condenser also. 2.5 MFD microfarad ceiling fan capacitor. Cylindrical capacitor is here. Figure 3 shows 3 capacitors of different capacity. One is 2.5 microfarad mu f. Second, 3.15 mu f. Third is 4 mu f. Mu f means microfarad. At the bottom left, there is a connection of electric fan. Electric fan, directly red color wire is joined to the supply. Another 2 wires coming from the electric fan are joined with the 2 ends of capacitor. One of them is joined to the other wire of main supply neutral. If by chance connection is wrong, means fan starts rotating in anti-clockwise direction, then the black wire of input supply is connected to other wire of the capacitor joined with the fan, and the rotation of fan becomes just opposite to the previous one. This is used sometimes in the connection when we are observing wrong rotation of fan. Last diagram is for increasing the speed of fan. Fan is rotating with a single capacitor at a low speed. If you are using 2 capacitors, then they increase the capacity of fan. And these 2 capacitors are connected in parallel. Then the fan starts rotating at a higher speed. But there is precaution also. Sometimes voltage becomes high, and if we are having joined two capacitors in the fan, then fan may burn. Therefore, precaution is also required if we are double speed connection in the fan. Capacitor behaves like a filter also. Filter means separating alternating current from direct current, or disturbances in the circuit coming from any region inside the circuit. Therefore, this is filter is useful to us, and this stops the direct current from alternating current. We use two types of current. One is direct current. In electronic watch, clock, watch, we are using direct current. Nipo battery 1.5 volt, Nipo battery or everyday battery. In torch also, we are using 2 cells, 3 cells of 1.5 volt. They are giving direct current. Whereas in our houses, in our schools, in our city, big transformers are used. There is alternating current. Alternating current can be converted into direct current. Direct current can also be converted into alternating current, but circuit is required for that. Now in the left hand side corner, there are 4 cylindrical capacitors, long capacitor, and they are used like a filter to stop the unwanted disturbances, to stop the direct current also. Circuit diagram is also given, in which a capacitor is used to stop direct current, because capacitor is filled with air or filled with insulator that does not pass direct current, but it can pass alternating current. Therefore, it is used as a filter. At the bottom, there are signals coming from radio station, the BBC London, Voice of America, or any other radio station, call it a radio. Then there is a filter circuit that separates out the radio frequency. Radio frequency is moving with the speed of light. That is 3 into 10 ki power 8 meter per second, very, very high. And the signal is spoken by the observer and others also, they are modulated. That is, they are floating over the radio signal and they are separated out by using the circuit. That is, demodulation is done. Different type of capacitors here, polarized, unpolarized. If we are talking regarding unpolarized, then on the left hand side there are ceramic capacitors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ceramic capacitor without negative and positive sign, no symbol. Whereas in the cylindrical capacitor, there is positive and a negative. If positive negative is not read, then there is one longer wire, another smaller wire. Longer, smaller, longer, smaller. This gives the information. Longer one is for positive, smaller one is for negative. At last, there are ceramic capacitors. Here, there is a combination of capacitors, different type of polarized, unpolarized air capacitors are also there. We are showing here yellow color capacitor, small, very small, and then there is no positive negative sign. And cylindrical capacitors having positive and negative sign on their terminals. There is air capacitor here also, that is we have used in battery for radio, receiver set and television set. To rotate it, we can change